girl. Come on, see. Good girls. Well, hello and welcome back again to Animal Training Development Center. Today I have with me Sadie, and you'll notice we're actually not at the training center. In fact, we are going to show you a little bit of insight into how we do our board and train programs here at Animal Training Development Center. So unlike our regular daycare training packages where we have people drop their dogs off and then pick them up later in the day, with our board and train program, we literally take them to our home and we work with them in the evenings and the morning times, and then they go with us to the training center and work throughout the day and then come back with us again in the evenings. It allows us to immerse them into our lifestyle here and get them integrated into our own pack with our dogs and the other dogs that are doing the board and train program as well. And Sadie has done a great job of kind of fitting in and learning the ropes from some of our more experienced dogs as far as going out in the yard and where to go potty and how to let us know when they need to go and all that good stuff. And then also letting her just be herself and getting to know her better as well. So you'll notice that Sadie, up, come on up here. Come on. There you go. Good. She's got a very outgoing dogality type. I would say that is her highest level of dogality, and her underside is a supportive dogality type. So that's a great combination for dogs that will do things like therapy type of work, which is one of the things that Sadie's owners have told us that they're interested in. So we've been kind of going along with that in mind in our training. And so what we do is try to create in them kind of the mindset of a therapy dog. And she's only 8 months old, but even then we can start to instill in her some of these qualities that a therapy dog should have. For example, a therapy dog should never just jump up on somebody without being invited up. And so unlike some dogs who are just pets and you really don't mind if they jump up on you and get on your lap or get on your furniture, when it comes to therapy dogs, you know, jumping up for a smaller breed like Cocker Spaniel, like Sadie is okay as long as they're invited. Now, a therapy dog isn't allowed to invite themselves because maybe a patient has IVs or they have frail skin or something like that. So one of the things we've been working hard at is making her wait to be invited to get up on furniture and to get up on us and things like that. I want to share with you some of the tools that we've been using to help with that. This first one is just a simple air duster, and I'm not going to use it now because she's being really, really good, but it just makes a sound of air passing through the nozzle, and typically used to clean computer keyboards and that sort of thing. I find that they're very effective as dog training tools to break into their mindset and help them learn that they need to stop doing things that maybe they've been doing for a while. And in her case, that was a lot of the jumping up that she was very much into when we started out. Another tool that we found very successful for her is a simple plant mister. And what we do with a plant mister like this is we fill it about 80% with just regular tap water, and then we top it off with about 20% a little bit of white vinegar. And that little bit of vinegar is not enough to hurt them in terms of burning their eyes or nose or anything like that, but it's enough to kind of break into that thought process once again. So I'm not sure she'll give me a chance to show you. Certainly I wouldn't use it if I didn't need to, but let's see if she tries to jump up as I get her excited. Sadie, hi, what a good girl you're being. What a good dog. Oh, look at you. What a good girl. And she's not jumping, so I can't help but reward that. That's what a real therapy dog should do, is they, you know, come up and you can talk excitedly to them, and they shouldn't jump up. Instead, they should wait patiently for us to go ahead and give them that attention. Now, once we've invited them up, Sadie, up, come on, up. Come on, Sadie, come on, up. And she's kind of reluctant to jump up. We've been working so hard against that. She's now not jumping up when I'm inviting her. Come on, up, come on, up. There you go, come on. Good, there you go, Sadie. So really, it's not that she can't jump up. In fact, jumping up on command is sometimes a real asset. Maybe there's a patient that can have company, but they aren't in a position where they can bend down and reach down and pet a dog, especially a smaller breed like Sadie. And so with the nurse's approval or the therapist's approval, be able to have them jump up on command could be a real asset. And so we've been using the word hup, like up, with a little H sound to it, so it sounds a little different. Hup is her word to know that she can jump up with our permission. Once she is up, we find that even at 8 months old, she's still teething quite a bit, guys. I mean, she's still going to be a puppy for quite a while. She's kind of mature beyond her age in a sense. We find that she doesn't act 8 months. She really acts like she's a little bit older than that most of the time. She just has this quality about her that makes her kind of an older soul sort of thing, and we've enjoyed that. And you can kind of forget sometimes that she's only 8 months old. She acts more like a dog that might be around a year. Sometimes even like a year and a half old. Other times she shows the puppy, and this teething thing is certainly part of that. So she definitely needs some things that she can chew on. She gets excited sometimes, and she doesn't bite, but she nips just like a puppy sometimes does. And so you want to have these toys accessible to for her to chew on, and she's not very picky. She came with a lot of toys that the owner gave us to let her play with, and she likes every one of those. And then we find that she likes some of the toys that we always have around the house, like this particular bone. When she has that in her mouth to chew on, that gives her something to do with that energy, and with those teething needs that she still has in developing her jaw strength, which is what nature tells a puppy they need to do at this age. She can do that while we can start to desensitize her to making sure she's comfortable having her ears touched, her paws touched, making sure she's okay with us touching the very toy that she's chewing on. All that's going really well for her. Super when it comes to being tolerant about being touched and handled, and having your fingers right near her mouth as she's chewing on toys. And again, this is just an example of why she would make a good therapy dog. She has the gifts that we look for in a dog that can do that type of work as she continues to develop and get older, because of that supportive side to her. As we said, she's got another side that's outgoing, and that can flip over time. Right now, I would say she's high outgoing with the underside supportive. Over time with training, I'd like to see that kind of flip to high supportive with the underside of outgoing, which would be even a little bit better for therapy dog aptitude. But that's not necessary. They can certainly do the work. Being high outgoing with the underside of supportive just means that the outgoing side is a little bit stronger than the supportive side. An outgoing dog, you would think, is super friendly, and they are social butterflies, which they are. I guess the downside of an outgoing dog outie type is they aren't good understanding boundaries. Boundaries being even, boundaries like we worked hard on her trying to bolt out the doors when we first got her here. She was ready to bolt out any cracked door that she could. That's an outgoing dog outie type. They just can't wait to go out and say hi to whatever might be out there next. She's really friendly toward other dogs, which is good, but the outgoing side of her makes her not good about understanding boundaries. Like one of our regular dogs that comes on a regular basis here was laying on the bed chewing on his own toy, and Sadie would go up and literally try to take that toy right from between his paws as he's chewing on it. And she didn't mean any bad intent by it, but of course the dog that we had was a little offended by that. And then she doesn't get those cues very easily. So as this dog started to express a little growl, a little bit of lifting the lip, Sadie's kind of impervious to that, and continued to, a task that she had in mind of trying to take that toy from this other dog. Luckily for her, we were there to step in, because you can see the other dog getting a little frustrated. This is just what happens with outgoing dogs. Just like outgoing people sometimes are great used car salesmen, for example. Sometimes they don't get those boundaries, and a person that might be geared a little differently kind of gets offended by that energy and by that seeming disrespect to personal space and stuff like that. Anyway, all that to say that I really feel like she's on her way to being a good dog for you, and being a good therapy dog down the road. They can't even take the test till they're a year old, so we've got 4 months to continue to get her some life experience and continue to coach her along the way of becoming a good therapy dog. We'll get into the obedience that she needs, and she's got the good foundation already laid. We just want to continue to work on that, and you'll see her going through those things. But again, just to sum up, I would have you guys at home get yourself a couple of these air cans. These are just computer keyboard cleaners. You can find them anywhere that sells anything computer related. Usually they're in the same section: Myers, Walmart, those type of places have them, and just anywhere that has computer stuff, you'll generally find those. Get a couple of those located, and maybe a couple plant misters. These are at Walmart. I think they're like 99 cents, and you can get a couple of those, and again, fill them about 80% water, 20% white vinegar. I put it on the spritz setting, not the stream setting, but kind of just not like the stream like that, but more like a spritz like that. It just kind of fills the air with this odor that kind of just overwhelms a dog's olfactory senses, just like smelling salts might do to a human. It kind of clears their mind and allows them to refocus on something else. And so if she's jumping up, or if she's scratching at you, which you'll sometimes do, those are all things that we want to start to stop. As soon as we use that and she stops, then we want to touch her and pet her, which is what she was looking for in the first place by jumping up. But we don't want to touch her when she's jumping up. If you push a dog down that's jumping up, they're still getting touched, and in their mind that's not a bad deal. They're going to keep jumping up to get more of that. We don't want to touch her at all. Just get your device, use that instead. As soon as she gets off of you, then go ahead and reward her, and she'll start to pick up like she's starting to here, that I come up and I wait, and then I'm either invited up, in which time I can jump, or I'm touched right where I'm at down on the ground, and I'm getting plenty of attention right here. So that's a good spot for me just to hang out. So those are good coaching methods for you guys to continue to practice toward our therapy dog goal, which I'm excited for because I know she's got the right gifts. And with your cooperation, a little bit of homework, a little bit more time with us, you're going to see a dog that's going to pass that test with flying colors and be on her way to a great career. All right, next we're going to break into some of the obedience that we've done with her. Okay, and we're going to just start with sit command. Every dog learns the sit command, and as we tell her, Sadie, sit. Sadie, sit. Good. She should sit and keep sitting until we tell her to stop sitting. So we're working on, nope, sit. Not just the idea that she will sit, but that she'll keep sitting. Good girl. Until we give the release word, okay. Okay, Sadie, good dog. There you are, good. Next, we're going to talk to you a little bit about the heel command. Sadie, sit. Good, we start with the sit. The heel position is my feet. Her paws are parallel with each other. She's close enough that I can reach down and touch her, but not so close that she would be in my way if I tried to turn a sharp right turn. As I give that heel command, I'm going to lead with my inside foot. If your dog heels on the right, your inside foot is the right, and that's the side you guys chose. So I'm going to lead with my right and say heel. And then we're just going to take a little walk around our house here. And what's neat about doing it in home like this is instead of a big open area, we've got lots of little twists and turns to navigate. I like to bring her over to the doors here because she did have that little bit of bolting issue when she first came, making sure that as I start to open this door, no, sit, that she'll hold. Good, no, sit. And then shutting the door. Good girl. Let's try that again. Opening, shutting, good. And then heeling away. Sadie, heel. Good. Back around. Atta girl. Come on. Good. Now heel. Try over here to the front door this time. This is the one she was really excited to try to get out. And of course, you don't want your dog to run out to where there might be danger in the street or what have you. And so making sure she holds, no sit. If she goes to get up, you just say no sit, and you're pulling her up and back a little bit here. No, sit, good. There you go. There we go. There we go. Just like that, good girl. Okay is the release word. She can stop sitting, do whatever she wants. In this case, come forward to get a little petting. Over here, we're just going to have her do her kennel command. Sadie, kennel. Good. She's learned to go in and wait till we say, okay, good. Now we can heel again. Good, Sadie. And maybe we're going to stop in front of some dog cages. Here we have. Sit. Good. We got our buddy Cooper next to her there. And here is Oscar. Sadie, sit. Good. Maybe we'll try it down. Sadie, down. down. If she doesn't, all we're doing is a little step on our leash right here. There we go. Good dogs. Good. And what's nice about the way we train is that the dogs that are in their kennels will get their chance to work, and then, oh, nope, down. Sadie learns to hold in her kennel without being too, distracted and watching them work. It's just good taking turns. Heel. Good, that's it. Good, Sadie. We'll get in here, and that down command should be a little bit easier to show you. No, sit. Good. Sadie, down. Down. There she goes. Good girl. If she didn't, again, the technique is I'm just going to step on that leash and just kind of help her toward the ground. She should hold that position, so if I lead with my outside foot, and in her case, that would be the left foot. So we talked about leading with the right feet. So this is just one of those things that really helps a dog focus on you, not just with their ears, but with their eyes too. If I teach them that when I lead with my inside foot, you're supposed to get up, like right here. See how she got up and followed me without me saying heel? That's exactly what I want to see. Good. When I stop, she should sit automatically. Sit. Good. We're going to try that down again. Sadie, down. Good girl. This time I'm going to lead with my outside foot. That, in her case, is my left foot. So the inside foot is the foot closest to her. So she heels on the right. That's the right foot. When I lead with my left foot, she should stay put in that down position as maybe I walk around her. Good job. Very nice. Good girl. Heel. Come on. Good. Next, we're going to show the place command. Place. Good. We've got her little blanket that you gave us. And the idea here is we've been placing it on this mat that she's sitting on now. And that's going to have her scent on it. So when we bring it home, it's going to help a little bit. But you're going to want to keep the leash on her even inside the house. And then you're going to lead her over there. Maybe give her something to hang out with. Maybe a toy to chew on. But the idea is maybe watch the news or something. Let her get used to sometimes she's just got to stay on that place command until you give her either the release word, which is okay, or we can give her a different command word. So if I say, come, good, I'm backing away, bringing her toward me, making sure she sits when she gets to me. Good. So that's the come position. Again, come, going backwards away from her, leading her to you, making sure she sits, and praising her. Do a lot of this indoors before you try outdoors, because outdoors is a lot more distraction. Heel. And because she's very young, we want to keep the distractions low so that she can continue to get better and better indoors so that she's ready for outdoors. Good job. Sit. Good. Okay, next I need a volunteer. Michelle, would you come and help me? So we're going to show you how we want to help her learn to greet people. Have a seat right over there. And so as I let Sadie come up, this is the same way you guys can do at home. Just use some of your other family members or what have you to start off with and just walk up. Hi, would you like to pet my dog? Yeah. Good. So as she goes down to pet, I'm just making sure she doesn't jump up. If she were, I would just use the leash to pull her off right there. Go ahead and pet her some more. Good. That's it. Good. Very nice. And from here, I can say, Sadie, come. Good. That's it. Making sure she sits next to me. Sadie, sit. Good. And now we're going to try that again. Would you like to pet my dog? Yes. All right. Here she comes. This is Sadie.
Sadie.
Good.
Hey.
That's the idea. Awesome. So she's enjoying the attention and she's getting all the pets without the jumping, without the pawing. All that is starting to get better and better for us. Very good. Good dog, Sadie. Heel. And now we'll go on. And that's how we help her start to learn to be a therapy dog. Sit. No, sit. Good. Good dog. Okay, thank you so much for your help, Michelle. All right, we're just going to finish up with a little bit more advice. All right. Come on. Come on, Sadie. Good girl. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And as always, we'd like to wish you happy training at home. We'd like you to take a look at this video and practice a little bit of this at home on your own. And then you still have a private lesson together with us where we can schedule a time for me to come back over and work with you in your home, putting the leash in your hands and coaching you through these techniques in person. And we look forward to doing that. Typically, we would have you just practice this stuff, 3 or 4 days before we schedule your time, so that she gets reacclimated back to your home. It's been 10 days. She's going to be excited to see you. You're going to be excited to see her. Before she gets back to her old habits, though, we want to make sure that you're practicing some of these things that you're seeing on the video. Get your tools that we mentioned. Be ready to utilize those anytime she tries to go back to her old habits of just jumping up on people without an invite. You've got to be able to nip that in the bud, because if you don't, she won't pass her therapy dog test. And so it's one of those things where difference between a pet and a working dog sometimes is little things like that. And when it comes to therapy dog, that's a big thing. So we want to make sure that she's not just jumping up uninvited, and that she's doing a lot of leash work in the house with that heel command, with the sit command, with the down command, with the come command, and with the place command. Those are the types of things that are going to really help you guys out and starting the practice of getting her to become an amazing dog. I know she's got the gift. We just got to give her the life experience. And we always say that one thing you can't train is life experience. It takes life to get life experience, and we're here to help coach and help train every step of the way, but she's just got to get through a little bit more maturity that only comes with time and exposure to changes in season. So we're in winter right now, and when spring comes, she needs to work through that again. We've got summer coming back after spring, of course, and we want to practice her through those types of things as well, and then get her out in public. You'll see in the video here right after this segment of a field trip that we took to Lowe's, and you'll see how outgoing she is, and it's great. I mean, we like that bubbly personality, but you can see that she's pretty easily distracted right now. Just doesn't have a lot of life experience when it comes to going out in public, visiting places and where there's people and that sort of thing. So we just need to do more of it. We're here again to help you every step of the way, and we thank you for your trust in us. And as always, we'd like to wish you all happy training. Okay, Sadie, good girl. What do you think, Sadie? You ready for a field trip? All right, let's do it. Sit, sit. Good girl. Sit. That girl. Okay, here we go. Good. All right, well, we're headed into Lowe's, and I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover throughout the experience here at Lowe's. I love going there. They're very pet friendly. The employees are always eager to help you if you want to be kind of left alone. Like when I'm training a service dog, I'll have a vest with service dog and training, and the employees are just great, kind of recognizing the difference between a pet and a working dog. These guys are super, mostly because I go there a lot, and this particular crew all knows me here. So they're really good about helping in any way we need. If we want to have a dog get some attention, they're always eager to do that. They mostly have some treats with them. Super people here. But the only thing I don't like about Lowe's is the fact that they play this wonderful music in the background that I enjoy, but it gives me a copyright strike every time I try to upload a video with the ambient noise happening. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to let you hear me instructing Sadie throughout our visit, because if I do, that music plays in the background and it gives me a copyright strike. So we're just entering the store now, and what I'm doing is just trying to acclimate her right out of the gate, getting her to sit kind of away from any activity, and purposely going to an area where I know there isn't going to be a lot of people. Back here in this area, it tends to be very lightly traveled this time of year with the lawn treatment and stuff like that stuff, and the grilling and everything. It's busy in the spring, but not so busy this time of year. And I want to get her in an area where there's not a lot of people, try to get her kind of acclimated
And you'll see throughout the video here that she's got this very outgoing spirit. Whenever she does see a person, she's super eager. You'll see a lot of times me checking back on the leash. She's in the heel command here, which means that she needs to stay at my right side, and she, constantly wants to be out ahead, eager to see, what's next. And I like that spirit in her. That curiosity is certainly an asset when it comes to a future therapy dog. That's that outgoing side of her that we discuss that she has. But with that comes, a dog is easily distracted and sometimes over exuberant, which leads to jumping and pawing and licking and even barking with some dogs as they get over excited. So we're just trying to, give her an exposure here. Purposely avoiding people when I can. You'll see me do some quick turns, and that's usually because I see a person coming up that she's not ready to meet yet. A few more times over a few more seasons of visiting here, and we'll be purposely looking for people to greet and visit. But for right now, we're really just trying to get her exposure to all the distractions that happen without people, the lights, the sounds, the texture of the flooring, the big wide open aisles. For a dog, it's like an amusement park. Again, you'll see throughout. As I'm doing these tugs on the leash, I'm saying no heel, no heel, and then trying to get her to sit. Um, I apologize for the camera work or lack thereof. It's very difficult to train a dog and keep them in frame with the video camera held at your side. And basically, I'm using my GoPro and just trying to, feel where I need to hold it. There, I did a quick about turn. You can see that she was really looking to go say hi to those people, and I'm like, "Oh, man, we're going to go this way," because if we'd gotten anywhere near those folks, she would have been jumping up on them and just over the top. And that's because she's already overstimulated. We say distractions are to dog training as weights are to weightlifting. And so, if you think about a person that's super strong, they can lift a lot of weight, but they didn't start lifting a lot of weight. They start with a lot lighter weight, and they worked out with it until they could do that easily. And then they add a little bit more weight to it, and they worked with that until it got easier. And they keep adding weight until finally they're super strong. Well, training is kind of like that when you think about it, because what we're dealing with are distractions. And right now, she's already lifting enough weight to get a good workout just by the store itself. If there wasn't a human being in this place, she would be distracted enough to get a good workout, which is what we call the art of dog training, is to create an environment that's challenging but doable and give a dog a good workout. And here I'm just trying to get her to sit, and we're sitting in, inside my house. There's no problem sitting here, just because of the environment is a lot of distraction, and I have to keep rechecking her and getting her back to the sit. Now we're doing a little bit of heel, and still, she's just, eager and ready to go. If that leash weren't on her, she'd be bolting down the aisles right now like a kid at an amusement park. And that's fine. We get it. She's a puppy and she's excited. And that's okay to be a puppy and be excited, but we're trying to mold her into that future therapy dog that can walk into just about any environment, stay focused on the handler, stay eager to meet people without being over the top, and all those good things. So this is just the tip of the iceberg for her training, and hopefully, as you watch this video, you'll be able to start taking her out places once you get her working well around your own household. That's where it all begins. We look at the world like a spiral, that we start to spiral out away from our home into our front yard, through our backyard, around the block, out into the outer reaches of our neighborhood, until finally we're able to go out into public like this. Pet friendly places here in Fort Wayne. Lowe's is one of my very favorites. You've got big, wide open aisles. You can see pretty well around the corners without people just jumping up on you very often. And you've got opportunities with forklifts and saws at times, just different kinds of equipment to train around. Of course, the big automatic opening doors in and out of the store, and the registry, cash registry area there, all good stuff. when they're doing well in a big open area like this, I'd like to go to places like Rural King here in Fort Wayne is a super place. Again, pet friendly. Rural King's a lot more challenging when it comes to taking a dog for visits because it's a lot narrower in terms of aisleways. You can't see as well. There's a lot more children and other dogs there, it seems. And not to mention, seasonally, they have rabbits and chickens and things like that in there as well, as a variety of different pet type foods. So Rural King is a step above this one in terms of weight. If you think about it, like the analogy we talked about, distractions are to dog training as weights are to weightlifting. Rural King be a step above that uh, type of experience for a dog. So start places like Lowe's, even if you don't like to shop for that type of equipment. It's good for the dog to be there and good for you to be there and get your skills acclimated to your dog and get them kind of doing well through an environment like this. And wintertime is great. You go to Lowe's in the springtime, it's a different experience altogether with a number of people wanting to do yard work and do house remodeling and things like that. Just gets a lot more challenging in the spring at Lowe's and pretty much anywhere you go. Here I'm trying to do a down command with her, and down's the last thing they want to do when they're super excited. And you can see me kind of struggling to get her there, but we do. There she goes. We'll do that again later. I don't recommend trying to do it down right out of the gate when you first arrive at a location. Like I say, the last thing a dog wants to do when they're super excited is to lay down. So I walked her quite a bit, through the store before I even tried the down, and even then, she wasn't ready for it. That was a lot more, focus than she wanted to have. There we have a person walk by us. Nice sit. She did good with that one. Yeah, nice. And then we'll heal. And so that's what we do as they get better at it. The idea being you'll start to see she's not going to continue to reach out the end of the leash. She's going to start to stay a little bit more focused on you, a little less interested in what's going on around her. And then and only then do we really want to, let people interact with her because right now it'd just be too much distraction for her to be able to deal with well. And she'll end up learning bad habits instead of good habits. So don't be in a hurry to meet people, even though she's going to be a therapy dog. Right now, the best thing we can do for her is teach her that just because we go in a place like this doesn't mean we're going to visit a lot of people. And I try to avoid them. And like I said, I literally go the other way when I see people just do an about face and go the opposite direction. Certainly, we would avoid other dogs, although we didn't see any in there today. But we would avoid other dogs as well if we saw them. We just purposely go places where they're not, just so that we can get her able to connect to us and not be distracted by the environment. And when we're to that point, like I say, then we start to uh, view people differently and look at them as opportunities to show her how to properly greet and stuff like that. There I do back about turn again, just trying to avoid the big distractions. Do a little sit there. We got a guy to our right. Again, I apologize for the camera work. It's really hard to train a dog and hold a camera and keep them focused the whole time. So I've gotten better at it over the years, but really, if anybody's looking for a cameraman or camera woman position, I could use some help. We're going to do another down here soon, and this one she'll do better. Maybe it's right here. Yep. Let's see. Try to tell her down. A little step on the leash. There she goes. Holding better this time. Yeah, nice. And she broke, so if I didn't give her the release word, she should have held and she stopped holding. And so we put her right back down and now back into the heel position. Super friendly dog. She's got a wonderful heart, lots of spirit. And even though she's 8 months old and outgoing, I see a maturity to her that's a little different than most dogs at that age with an outgoing spirit. Uh, she really has this other side to her that I think is going to flip. I think she's going to become high supportive with the underside of outgoing, which, like I said earlier in the video, will be even more ideal for her future. But we don't know that for sure right now. She's still developing. What we do know is that what we were working with is working. So here you can see she wants to go say hi to that guy. Doesn't know him, never seen him before, but that outgoing spirit says, "Hey, what's your name? Do you want to pet me? You want to talk to me?" And I don't know whether he would have or not, but again, this isn't the day for us to invite that. Awesome. So here in a second, I'm going to go ahead and let the audio take over. We're just going to go through the exit, and as you do, you're going to see where somebody asks, "Can I give her a treat?" And I say, "Not today, thank you." And they're like, "You're welcome, thank you." All good stuff. Again, the idea if I let her have a treat here, I might have ruined the whole training session that we just are completing by letting her jump up and get a treat. And then she's going to, next time we go there, be thinking all that. And that's not what we want. So let's go ahead and cut off my sound here and let you hear the exit. And hopefully we won't get a copyright strike against that. So bear with me. We're going to cut off here.
Hey, puppy.
Yeah.
Did I have a snack?
Not today, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You. Good girl. That's good. Sit. Good girl. Good girl, Sadie. You did very nice. Good job. Good girl. Good doggy.